You know what this is? This is for football dugouts and so forth. So let me just try and understand what has been shaved, because you look like a completely new person. Because I didn't ask for like the whole beard to be shaved and the hair to be shaved. So the hair's but I know that it's been a beard trim, but has also been a hair trim. So what has been changed differently as opposed to thinking? Because obviously barbers are now open in the UK now and so forth. So what has actually been changed?
Obviously, I got like a high top thing in it, so I got all the hair at the top, and as you can see, it's a bit of a fade down the side, and the beard got the beard shaved round, neat. And listen, if you see my before and after, I was gonna post my before and after on Twitter. It's mad. My mustache was covering my top lip. All I had was a bottom lip. So yeah, it's mad.
Damn! Wow! So okay, so how was? Because obviously we're not here since Thursday. So how was your week been then? What things have you seen? I mean, how was the? Okay, so have you gone full on with the whole reopening thing, or have you been like, okay, you guys can go crazy in the pubs and so forth? Let me just see how this whole thing pans out.
Well, you know what? I was supposed to go to a little soca rave on Saturday, but then when I heard the price, I was like, "There's no way you're charging that." Like, sorry, no way you're charging that for 2.5 hours. No way. So I didn't go. But yeah, I saw some pictures of people getting very, very close and friendly up in like Soho, wherever it was. I'm not on all of that. And then I know that people got some family members who are going shopping, and the kind of things I'm hearing about when you go shopping, like there's no change rooms, they're not open. So you can't, like, literally, my brother's like, well, he don't care. He is just trying on his clothes right there in the middle of the shop floor, in it, because I'm not. They're like, oh, you can go home, try it on, and bring it back if you don't. Who's got time? Who's got time for that?
Oh, so they allow you to take the clothes home and try it and bring it back.
But you have to bring it, but you can bring it back if it doesn't fit or whatever. And I'm like, well, no, if I go shopping, I'm not leaving the store unless I know that this thing fits me. So yeah, it's a bit crazy out there, and I haven't really experienced it like that myself. But went to the barbers, got there early, in and out, and yeah, keep it moving.
All right. Okay. So just to know, obviously we don't know where Joven is. He was supposed to be joining us. Devil, I believe, is working late, but hopefully we will be able to get him back on Thursday. Man, you know, Devil has to put those hours in, man, because you know there's going to be big changes for him come if a few months, man. So, but look, man, we've got a good show to get in with you, and maybe we'll have time for some of your questions towards the end for Nix and I. So, again, to remind guys again, remember to join up and become a patron to support your boys in there. The link is in the description box below. The link to the Patreon where you can support us and gain access to extra football dugouts content. The way to do it is to become a patron. Click on the link below in the description box and become a patron and help us and join us, man. So let's start with Griezmann, man. So Griezmann, he came under a lot of pressure, mainly from me. I called him. I've been calling him a side chick. He might still be a side chick, but maybe he was a wifey just for this. So how did you do you think Griezmann has been vindicated, or is it like chill? It's Villarreal. Let's actually see what you now do against stiffer competition. Because I'll say this: look, it was an amazing goal. It was a superb goal. But what is your view about the pressure he's been on, the questions that have been asked of him since he's been playing for Barcelona, his performance, his goal, and so forth? Where does that put him? Or you just think that, okay, it's cool, need to see more?
Brilliant goal, brilliant performance. I think for the whole front three, so Suarez, Messi, and Griezmann. It's the first time that I've seen Barca play that with Messi at the head of in a number 10 with Griezmann and Suarez as like a strike partnership, so to speak. And you think, considering when they bought Griezmann and the football he's been playing for Atletico Madrid all that time, that's the position that you bought him from. That's where he's been playing. So to buy him and then expect him to fit into another role at his age, you know, he's not a youngster. coming to learn a new role and that kind of stuff. You brought him based on what he's done at Atletico Madrid, and then you bring him to Barca and expect him to do something else. No wonder it ain't worked. Now, I ain't saying that now they've beaten Villarreal, this is the way to go forward, etc. But if you're going to get the best out of Griezmann, you have to play him in a system that suits him. Is he good enough to build a team around? Well, I mean, Messi can do it anywhere. Messi can play behind the striker, on the right, on the left, up front, whatever you want to do. So you don't have to. I don't think you have to worry about Messi in terms of getting the best out of him. He will give you the best wherever he goes. If you want to get the best out of the other players, Suarez and the Griezmann, etc., then you have to play them in their best position. So I think it will be wise for Barca, at least between now and the end of the season, the Liga season that is, to stick with this formation, this tactic, and see how it serves them, because maybe it's something they could use in the Champions League. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League, but maybe it's something they can use. I wouldn't want them to go back to what they were doing before, because clearly that didn't suit Griezmann, and to an extent, the fact that Barca are struggling in the title race is because they're not getting the best out of their best players. So we'll see what they do for here on in. But it looked good. I'm not going to lie, it looked good.
So, I mean, but with regards to the La Liga title race, do you think, because for me, I think I'm the only person on the planet who still believes Barcelona will win La Liga. I still maintain them because I think there are 4 games left, 4 points ahead. I can still see Real Madrid self-destructing. I just see something crazy to happen. I just think so. Okay, so do you think it's over now?
I think it was. I said it was done. I said if they come out of, remember a few weeks ago, I said if they come out of the next, there was a period of games. Atletico Madrid, Celta Vigo, and the Villarreal game. I said if Real Madrid can come out of this period, extend their points gap by another 2 points or whatever it was, then I think they'll win it.
Oh, no. I mean, no, I think they still have to play Villarreal at the crib.
They do, but they're 4 points clear. So
Yeah.
the next 4 games, they've got Alaves, Granada, Villarreal, and Leganos.
Yeah.
So even if they were to lose to Villarreal, they still got another point to play with.
Yeah.
So I can't see them dropping points in 2 more games than Barca drop points in between now and the end of the season. Barcelona, they've got Espanyol, Valladolid, Osasuna, and Alaves. I think Real Madrid may drop points in 1. Barca may win the last 4, but obviously that's
so if Real Madrid mess this up, how bad of a mess up could this be? Could this be like one of their worst ever mess ups? Like 4 points, 4 games to go and they mess it up.
They have to win it. But the pressure's on because they haven't won it in since Zidane. Wait, Zidane won it in 2017, was it? I think it was 2017.
You mean the last time that Real Madrid won it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not. They won it 27. I think maybe it was either 2017 or 2014. I think you might be right. It might be 2017.
Zidane won it with them, didn't he? Zidane won the La Liga with them.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that would have been either 16, 17, or 18 when it wasn't 18. But I think it was 17 anyway. But I think they have to win it because Barcelona have absolutely dominated La Liga in the last decade.
Totally.
So for me, yeah, I think I think what's good for them is the fact that the Champions League isn't playing at the same time, so they can put all their eggs into the basket. And I think the fact that they've won so many games by 1 goal, they've won it late, tight games, whether it's a penalty, whatever it is. I think the mentality is there that they know that if they keep going, they're going to get the result by hook or by crook. Barca fans will call it VAR cheating. Don't worry, I know what you're saying. We've got Liverpool in our league as well. But you just deal with it because Barcelona, go on.
The funny thing is that this just shows you how things that you don't realize, but you now begin to realize when you do this kind of stuff. I swear to you, I must have seen about 6 or 7 comments about your trim. Because normally when people cut but even for me, whenever I go, okay, look, I just feel like if I'm going to go bald, or let's say I'm doing like a thingy appearance for the channel that I work for. Okay, I'm not going to go bald. But when people say, "Oh my god, trim," I said, "Wait, what do you mean trim?" So, oh yeah, I shaved my head, So literally, the long bit of it, "Oh my gosh, fresh trim, amazing trim, look good." I mean, what's it called? It's
been a long 3 months, man. It's been a long 3 months. And, I was observing.
Next with the clean cut eyes.
Big up my Rosario. Big up.
Will you ever retire the high top?
Yes, I would.
So is there a time you will retire the high top, or is it just a case of like you want to do it, or because remember, once you reach a certain age, I don't want to really age the high top. You can't be rolling with the high top after a certain age. So when will the high top go down? Because that has been your MO for years.
What I would say, however, before I even answer that, is that I didn't have a high top at the time when the high top was popular, because the high top was big around in the 90s. I was born.
Yeah. 90s was like early mid-90s. Then basically late 90s it was beginning to go away. Basically, short back and size was really big. Was a really big early mid-90s thing. But then like late 90s, like short back and size and the high top was sort of going away. Basically, Fresh Prince was when high tops was like huge.
And I was born early 90s. So when you think the high top came and went before I even reached a time where I could say, I want to get that trim. So it's not like I ain't trying to bring it back. This is the first time I ever had it. So I'm enjoying my high top. But I've got a date in mind where things are going to change, and you lot will see it, innit? You lot see me every Monday, so you lot will see when things change as well.
Okay, so Bayern Munich did the double. They put Bayer Leverkusen to the sword, and this is sort of what the question I was sort of asking on the weekend, which is the state of the Bundesliga. And obviously, I had a Bayern fan, who really gave us like a really detailed breakdown of the 50+1 rule, how much the supporters have ownership of their clubs, they don't really have outside investors and so forth. But as you see just how easy it is for Bayern Munich, how they so easily dispatch of their teams, and just how difficult it is for these teams to even match up to them. Do you think that for people to even say what's up to Bayern Munich, that Bundesliga needs to maybe strike a better balance with the 50+1 rule and actually try and look at what is happening in the Premier League with Newcastle and so forth, and actually invites investors, because club football has changed. It has changed right now. And I think the only way you can go against a Bayern is you need to offer people those extremely high wages to attract different kinds of talents, maybe to attract the 30, 31-year-olds who are looking for something good, who are like veterans, or maybe the younger saying, "Oh wow, this is lucrative, let me go there." Or is there any other way apart from outside investments that a Dortmund, Leipzig, Schalke, Leverkusen can actually close the gap against Bayern Munich and stop them from doing 9-10 in a row?
It's funny because I used to work with a German. She was from Ingolstadt, but she supported Bayern Munich and Ingolstadt, to be fair, but they weren't in the Bundesliga at the time. And we should speak about stuff like in terms of the 51 rule and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and the hate that Leipzig get in Germany. Like, for me on the outside, I was like, okay, I think Leipzig are the so to speak the Man City, or possibly the Chelsea in terms of and probably more Man City than the Chelsea, in terms of Chelsea were already there or thereabouts in the Premier League, maybe in European football, etc. Man City kind of came from nowhere, big investment from outside, and came to talk to the big boys. And that's where Leipzig, and of course in German football, the fans are much more passionate in terms of ownership of club because they have a proper stake in it. But I was sitting there thinking, but what is more important? Of course, yes, you don't want your clubs to be going down the roads of a Portsmouth or a Wigan or Leeds, for example. You don't want that. But also, are you happy with how uncompetitive the Bundesliga is? And if you stick by what is going on now, it's never going to be competitive. The teams below Bayern have to really pull a rabbit out of their hat if they're going to.
I mean, like the gap is too much. It's so much. Like it's.
So you need that the outside investment, and yes, it's an evil, but one team dominance itself is also an evil. So unless you change the regulations around in the Bundesliga, the only way you're going to get that competition is if you allow a Leipzig, and I think there's another club in the Bundesliga right now who does it as well. I can't remember exactly who it is. Could be Union Berlin, but I could be completely wrong. But I'm like, I would welcome that, because I'm like, from outside looking in, I want to I'm more attracted to watch the Bundesliga if I see other clubs competing with Bayern Munich. You know, when you see a successful Dortmund or successful Leipzig, you're going to get outside fans looking in. Other than that, for me, it's it can be very boring.
Also, just on Bayern Munich, they're just focusing on them. Do you think that if you're a Bayern, so let's say put yourself in the role of a Bayern fan, are you happy that man, we're winning, or as a Bayern? Because again, this is because I always try to be with the Bayern fans because like I'm like, yeah, you should be happy that your team is winning, but isn't it much more satisfying when you really had to stretch to win? Even let's even look at Man United. Even those times when Ferguson was dominating, he really had to win those things because there was because it was much more competitive. So even if it felt like United win all the time, but when you just looked at how hard they had to dig in deep and how you had the rising threats of the Invincibles, the rising threats of Chelsea, the rising threats of a Man City. So he had to deal with all these different threats because of how the Premier League had so much money. But for a Bayern fan, the dominance isn't the same as the Fergie dominance because your dominance just seems as if you don't even see a rising threat coming from anywhere. So how can you be happy and satisfied winning so easy? And also as well, doesn't it harm your chances in the Champions League if you're not really being tested each week before you go against Europe's elite?
Well, what I'll say is, for me as a Man United fan, obviously I grew up when we were completely dominant. And for me, the best titles we ever won were either the year after we lost it, because you've taken it back from a rival, or the year where we pushed the closest. So 1999, we won on the last day of the season. 2008, we won on the last day of the season. But then you got special ones like, as I said, 2013, where Man City beat us on the last day in 2012, and we came back and blitzed it in 2013. So the competition always adds another element. If you're just running away with it, then the domestic dominance becomes a given. So it's like, well, it's expected now. It's like, for example, we beat Bournemouth, for example, on the weekend. I'm happy we beat Bournemouth, but I can only be so happy because you're supposed to beat Bournemouth. Whereas if we beat a Man City or a Liverpool, where you're not expected or it's a bit more of a challenge, you feel more rewarded after the victory.
No, it feels sweeter.
But that being said, I've never met this upset Bayern fan. So they're very happy. They seem very, very happy winning the Bundesliga. I'm yet to meet a Bayern fan who says this league is too easy. Never heard it. They're like, this is.
But that's what I always find weird is that the fact that, and you're right that you've never heard a Bayern fan say this is too easy, but then he says to yourself that, but you've won it 8 times in a row. So how can you be like, oh man, it's tough, man. But you won it 8 times in a row. I know, man, but man, those 8 times we really have to dig deep, man, and everything. But it's like, but it's 8 times in a row.
I know. I don't understand it. But what I would say, I think, does it affect their Champions League? I mean, how much they won now? 7 Champions League?
I don't know. No. But the real thing is that they haven't won since 2013.
And 2013, it was competitive at the time. But what I was going to say,
yes,
I want to know the years that they won the Champions League. Look at the competition, the Bundesliga, and I'm sure because when we were growing up,
yeah, because they won it in. I think they won it. Is it in 2001 when they faced Valencia, beat them on penalties?
Well, I said back then, Bayer Leverkusen were a big team in Germany. So there was, when they were winning the Champions League, there was competition in their league. But a lot of them maybe don't look at the correlation between how competitive the league is and them being able to dominate or win in Europe. And I think it has a massive bearing because, for example, we see PSG, all the superstars, no competition in the league, in the French league, and then they can't perform or they can't raise their game for a Champions League.
Yeah,
the Premier League. Look at the times when the Premier League has won. The Premier League team has won the Champions League, and look at the competition back home. How close was it back home? With Liverpool last year, they won it and they lost the league by 1 point. I think 2012 was probably the only year where you can say, yeah, the team that won it were just like they were bad domestic.
Oh yeah. Chelsea, yeah.
Man United in 2008, that went to the last day of the season. Man United in 99, that went to the last day of the season. So they were always pushed on all fronts, which allowed them to keep the energy, the competitiveness,
and also look, I'll keep it real. That's 2012 win of Chelsea. Like, I still don't know how they did it. Like, let's keep it like, because even the way that they did it wasn't how United did it in 1999. It wasn't how Bayern did it in 2013. It wasn't how Barcelona did it in 2015, where like they just were the better team. They just blitzed teams through. So they were like, no, they deserved because they were so much better than everyone else. So a competitive league does help you because it puts you at that high thing, which is why I've always said that I don't think PSG will ever win it. I just don't think PSG or Mbappe, because I need it for my narrative. I need Mbappe to win it for a narrative. PSG will never win it.
Someone sorry in the comments.
So let me just say. So it says that thank you for the super chat, just Bestin. We need to have an honest convo on Bruno's impact. Bestin, relax. we'll get there, bro. We'll get there. What did I say?
Oh, so yeah, there was a comment from who's your I think he's H8's hairline. Because 2013 was not competitive. Absolute BS. We won by 25 points. That's not the point. Because in 2012, Dortmund won it. So the competitive in the league, I'm not talking about that individual season. Yes, you may have been the best team that year.
It's like the era.
Dortmund had won it twice in a row, the Bundesliga. And so you lot had to raise your game. You had to, buy correctly. You had to implement to make sure that you took back the crown. Because of the dominant or the competitive, for me, it's not a coincidence that there was competitiveness within your league, and Dortmund got to the final. So again, it wasn't bum. You actually won the league by 25 points, or whatever you said, but you had competition in that period from Dortmund. I don't think it can be discounted.
No, because for me, I just don't understand. Again, it's just something that I'll never understand, but I just kind of never understand a satisfaction of being so dominant in a league. Because for me, the fun of sports is you win some, you lose some. And when you win, it's difficult to win because, as you said, a difficult win is so much more sweeter than an easy win. If there's no challenge, they're like, okay, but once there's a challenge, it's like when you're playing on Pro Evo, if you play it on easy, how fun is it really? Unless you're completely sad. And look, I'll keep it real with you. When I was young, I'll admit, I was very young here, very young. When I was young, I used to cheat.
You want to win? So, you just want to win.
Yeah. So I just want to know because I was really, really sad. So I was sad. So I used to basically put it on easy, control both parts because I just wanted the sensation of winning. But as you grow older and so forth, that's why whenever I play Pro Evo, I always put it on professional. I start there. Then I may think of putting it on top because it just feels much better when you win with a tougher challenge. But when it's so easy to win, there's no fun, there's no satisfaction. But maybe people are satisfied with it.
It's a perfect example because it's same thing. I used to play FIFA, and at first, when I was younger, you put in easy. You learn like there's a cheat, especially when you're semi-pro. You know exactly where to attack and you always score the same way. And then I was like, even on the same easy, no, I want to score a different way. I need to do something different. This is too boring now. And then every time I bought a FIFA, when I was younger, I would always start on like professional. And if I can beat that easily, then we go to the next level. If I can beat it easily, you go to the next level. And until now, I haven't bought FIFA for a couple of years, but the last FIFA I bought, I go straight in at world class. And I test myself there. And if it's that difficult, then I'll drop it down level, get my skills up, and then go again. You need the excitement. Now, the only thing I can think is that in football, of course, things can change. You can be dominant for so long, and then something clicks for another team, whatever it is, and you're no longer. So it might be a case of, let's enjoy this while it lasts, because it may never last forever. It might not last. So maybe that's where the Bayern fans are coming from. But from the outside looking in, I like to see if the 50+1 rule ain't helping competitiveness, I'm for whatever will help the competitiveness.
Okay. So now, again, shout out to all of you guys. And remember, guys, hit that like button, man. So I believe Tottenham are currently leading right now. So they're leading 1-0. I think it's a Michael Keane own goal. So, which leads us perfectly to our main topic. So I think perhaps the most fascinating thing, we see there are two storylines happening right now. I believe, well, maybe in La Liga as well. I think in La Liga there's a bit of a top four race, but I think really the main thing is so much of the top four race in La Liga, the title race in La Liga, putting as Real Madrid. But I think definitely the top four race in the Premier League is very fascinating because still, mathematically speaking, even if the games are running out, Arsenal are somewhat in there. They may be somewhat in there, but the games are definitely running out. So, as we said, so obviously it's with 5 games to go. So we've got 5 games to go, and as you can see there, Leicester City on 58 points, Chelsea on 57 points, United on 55, Wolves on 52, Arsenal on 49. But before we even go there, Nick, let me ask you this, because I know what the answer to this is. And the question is, do you think the Man City ban will be upheld? I don't. I think that it will be overruled, which is why I'm looking at the top 4 rather than top 5. There is no way. I don't want to go into details, but there's no way, knowing who City are, who is involved with, UEFA will actually go ahead and ban them. That rule will be overturned. Or do you believe that the ban will be upheld and this will be more of a top 5?
You know what? Ban or not, I'm fighting for top 4 because that's out of our control. When I'm looking at it, I'm just thinking we need to get the top 4 and the ban will take care of itself. However, a 2-year ban, to get the whole 2-year ban overturned, I think it will be difficult. And I think if it does get overturned, FFP is done. FFP is finished because this is UEFA running their own competition and they can't regulate who can be involved and under what rules. So I think it will be a slap in the face to UEFA if they completely overturn this. I think the probability of the ban being reduced to 1 year is very, very high. I think a suspended sentence, like a 2-year suspended or 1 year suspended, in terms of so they can still play, but if any other breaches, then the ban comes into play. I think that would be too light because they've already been fined in the past and they had a squad restriction for FFP breaches. If they get away without being actually banned from the tournament, I think FFP is done. So UEFA need to really think about what happens from here with FFP when it comes to Man City. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going for top 4. Additionally, if we finish 5th and get top 4, yes, I'll take the Champions League, and it may bring, certain players may want to come because you're in it, regardless of how you get in it. But it feels a bit fake. It feels like you didn't really earn it. I think I would rather not get in the 5th and win the Europa League to get in, because at least you got in by footballing means. Getting in because another team was banned because of something.
No, it feels fake.
Yeah, I don't really like that, especially it being our rivals. It's like Man City gave Man United their Champions League position. I don't really like that. So I'm not even looking at, can Arsenal get in the top 5 and get into the Champions League? Wolves get into the top 5 of the Champions League. I'm like 1 to 4 is Champions League. Whatever happens with UEFA, that's up to them to decide. And so as far as that concerned, I don't see Arsenal in the top 4 race. They're 8 points behind Chelsea.
I think it's going to be tough for Arsenal. I mean, I'll just think it's just to try and be cool, but yeah. So wait, let me just say this, so your boy Just Bested says Martial is the best striker in the Premier League based on form. We will get to Man United, but look, I've always said this ever since he joined United, that Martial is a cold player. I've always said, technically speaking, this guy, just like he had a bit of a time where he was sort of out of form, and you may blame Uncle Mo, but I've always said that ability-wise, talent-wise, Martial is a truly amazing player. And I think once you get the best out of him, United have an amazing player, which is why the crazy thing that France's squad is ridiculous. The amounts of players that they can leave off, the amounts of players that they have in their squad. These guys won a World Cup without really playing the ooze and without even having Martial in the flipping squad.
Was Coleman in the squad? Kingsley Coleman.
Was he injured? I think he might have been injured.
I know he was in the Euro squad in 2016. But
No. He played in the. I remember he played in the Euros. He played in the Euros, but I think he may have. I think he was injured because he wasn't in the squad. I think he was injured.
Dimitri Payet, he wasn't in the 2018 squad. He was injured.
Yeah. Was Payet injured again? I'm not sure.
Benzema. I mean, lack of threat if you want to rate him, but it's so many.
Lacazette for forget that dude. Benzema.
Lack of threat.
Benzema. I mean, they won it without Benzema. They won it without Laporte. So the amount of players that France can leave off is insane.
Yeah.
He's absolutely insane, the kind of player that they can leave off. So yes, aside, look at these guys you're pretty brainwashing, man.
Well, listen.
Knicks, we will finish third. Have hope, bro. Let's break it down team by team. Let's take it down brain system. Let's first look at Leicester City right now. So, first off, I mean, Leicester City, like I think they started off really well, and I think they must have gone on a crazy winning run because it just shows you how crazy their run was because they've dropped so many points, but they're still ahead because they did so well before this whole break. So, and also, I think Vardy's on how many goals now? Is it 25?
No. 21. He scored 2 on the weekend.
I mean, if someone can check that sports in the live chat, that'd be great. How many goals is Vardy on?
Remember, he scored 1 goal between December before Christmas until last weekend. He scored 1 goal. That's how far ahead he was, and that's how far ahead Leicester were at Christmas. Remember when they went to play Liverpool at the King Power? Liverpool boxed them 4-0.
Yeah.
At that time, it was like they were the only team that could possibly catch Liverpool in the title. That's how good their start of the season was, and they completely fell away, man. They've got the position, and possession, as they say, is 9/10 of the law. They have the possession. It's theirs to lose.
But see, for me, I never really look at the whole thing of just win all your games and then you go through. Like for me, that doesn't mean anything to me. My thing is all about is your momentum.
Yeah.
Because even if you're ahead, if you lose games and other guys winning games, boom, things can change because they were very far ahead. And then both Chelsea and United have just sort of closed that gap. But let's just look at Leicester's fixtures. So Leicester City have this is huge. This is big. You see, I think Arsenal, you know what? See, Arsenal are sort of the reverse Chelsea in the sense of Arsenal may help mess things up. Even if Arsenal are out of it, they may help mess things up. Arsenal may have messed things up for Wolves to sort of help give Chelsea United a breathing space. So Arsenal could now maybe give a breathing space for Chelsea United because I've always said, I mean, we'll get to it. I've always felt that this could be, I don't know in what order, 3rd and 4th for Chelsea and United because more and more, I do believe that Leicester City may come out. But let's just look at this game. So let's just go through the game. So what do you think of that? Arsenal, do you think Leicester get the win or do you think Arsenal...
Listen, I was so happy Arsenal beat Wolves. Not just because of the Wolves factor in terms of getting them off our back, but I need Arsenal to keep this momentum going to go and take some points from Leicester. I needed it because I'm looking at Leicester and I'm like, you got a 3-0 win against a Palace, cool. But you have been shocking. So if you go and start picking up form now and beating Arsenal, I think they'll beat Bournemouth, for example, then it makes it very difficult for us. We need Leicester to continue to drop points. And I think at the Emirates, I'll be surprised if Leicester win. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but I'll be surprised if they win. And if I had to put money on someone to win, it would be Arsenal.
So you think they beat Bournemouth?
100%.
You think they beat? Do you think they beat Sheffield United?
Not guaranteed. Not guaranteed at all. Not, and that's the thing. Keep going. No, that's not guaranteed.
So Tottenham away.
Not guaranteed. I think I would actually back Spurs to get something out of that game.
And do you know how crazy this is?
Well, you know what?
Wait. Because basically on the last day of the season, you have Leicester, Man United, and you have Chelsea, Wolves.
I know, but I'm hoping that this game is pointless because if they drop points against if they drop points against Arsenal, Sheffield, and Spurs, let's say they draw all 3 of those games. That's 6 points they've dropped. We would therefore be 3 points ahead of them. We would have to, and hopefully, depending on the goal difference. At the moment, they're leading on goal difference. They would have to beat us on the last day by maybe 2 goals, 3 goals to go past us. So
you don't think that this game will be relevant for Leicester City? So you think that they'll already be out of the top 4 race by this game?
No, I think we, Man United, would be far enough ahead of them. They may still be able to catch Chelsea, but I think.
So you think that by this game, United will be mathematically secure for top 4?
Barring goal difference, yes. So I think we'll be 3 points ahead of Leicester by the last game of the season.
Okay. So let's now look at Chelsea now. So Palace tomorrow.
I'm gonna say
you see, these are very tricky games now.
it's all tricky. It's a pressure.
No, this is tricky.
It's the pressure.
Okay, so this is FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, that's FA Cup. Yeah, you can count that one out.
So basically, see Palace, Sheffield United.
Not easy. That's not easy.
The only thing that I hope is a guaranteed win is this.
Yeah.
Because let me go through this. Palace away tricky. Sheffield United, after their big win over Tottenham, maybe they've now found their groove back. Liverpool, if these guys are basically if they can still smell the record, it's going to be tough. Even if they can't smell the record. See, if let's say the record is gone and they know that they cannot mathematically gain the record, then maybe Klopp will be like, you know what, let me just give guys a go. And maybe you may see the Liverpool that's faced against Man City quite just sort of lethargic. But it depends whether they're still chasing the record. And I think this for me could be pivotal.
I think for Chelsea, that's it. I think Chelsea will. I'm predicting they're going to drop 3 to 4 points between now and before the Wolves game. So that's
so. Which points do you think they drop then?
Either a draw each against Sheffield and Liverpool, or you'll beat Sheffield and lose to Liverpool. So 3 to 4 points you'll drop, which means that I would say going into the last game, it will be Chelsea or Leicester to get the 4th place. I think Man United will be 3rd by then. I really do.
Okay, well, we'll get to those fixtures. So, real deal thing for the Super Chat big man. He says, if Man United gets 5th place and win Europa, does that mean the 6th place team get the sales spot if Man City gets a 1-year ban?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Because remember,
if they remember, if you win Europa, you get Champions League regardless.
Yes, but you don't get an extra spot. Look at last year. Remember, Chelsea finished 3rd and won Europa, but 5th place Arsenal didn't get Champions League. So you get 4 places unless you finish outside of the top 4. And
Okay. So basically, no country can ever have 5 spaces.
No, you can, but only if the 5th comes from winning the European competition.
Okay.
If Man United finish 6th and win the Europa, then you have 1, 2. So let's say 1, 3, 4, and 5 will get Champions League as well as Man United. But if the Europa League winning team or Champions League winning teams already finish within the top 4 or top 5, then it just sticks at 4 teams.
Okay.
And Man United finished in 6th, so no.
Yeah. Okay. So
that is that's not that. And the thing is,
see, because that is why I'm worried.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, City, can you just please get banned? Because looking at this Chelsea team, and because Lampard is so mad and he does not know what it means to pick a defensive line and stick to it, and because he's in love with Ross Barkley and Mason Mount, I can't. Basically, put it this way: if Chelsea can just secure 9 points, Palace, Sheffield United, and Norwich City, that can put them in it. Because then, hopefully, that Leicester or drop points thingy. Then you know what? Liverpool, even if that's a loss, put all your eggs into beating Wolves at the crib. Last game of the season. But I just think I think Chelsea can secure top 4 if they can get to 9 points from those 3 games.
Well, put on this. Go to the table quickly and look at, I think, what we've got over Chelsea, which I'm happy with, and not over Leicester, is the goal difference. So if Chelsea draw their next game or draw 1 more game and we win, we're ahead of them on the goal difference.
Okay, so your goal difference, is it 33 or the 23?
23. And Chelsea is 16 and Leicester's 32. So we're 9 behind Leicester and we are 7 ahead of Chelsea. So, yeah. And it's so... The reason why I don't want to get too excited, because last season I was looking at our fixtures and I know we're not playing as well as we were last year, but I look at the fixtures and we're like, yeah, win that, Brighton win that, Cardiff win that, Huddersfield win that, draw, loss, draw, Chelsea, all of it. So I'm just like, you know what? 1 game at a time. And
but United are playing well, though. They're playing well. So from Branco, it said, HH, your boy Pokemon is getting relegated. Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. But I feel that it is unfair because I felt Poke would have made a big impact at these Euros. Because I think they qualified for the Euros. I think it would have made a big impact for the Euros. But I still, Pokemon, we still love him, man. But I just think Norwich.
Do you think he'll be playing in a top division next season? Do you think someone will buy him? Maybe not Premier League, but a top division in Europe.
I would be surprised. See, which is why it's the issue of the Euros. Because if the Euros had happened and he had a really good Euros, even if Norwich got relegated, I think somebody would have bought him. But because the Euros did not happen, then it's like but someone might buy him. But see, now it's doubtful without the Euros. Without the Euros, it's doubtful. So let's look at your boys, man. So yeah, I mean these games are actually okay. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. So this is FA Cup, isn't it?
Chelsea games, FA Cup, yeah.
That's a win.
It has to be.
No. Come on. Like, see, that's a win. That's a win. See, now, look at what Southampton did to Man City.
That's not easy. The only benefit for us is that it's at our home. And I know it's not the same without the fans.
Yeah, without the ground, but
that element of being at home, it will play into our hands.
For me, this is a game that I think I don't think Southampton win this game, but I think United, I mean, it could be a draw. But for me, it's like the way United are playing. See, if this was like the United when they were sort of out of form, our Southampton would have probably win. Yeah. But where United are playing, this could be a dub. Palace away, I would say the way that United are playing, they should still win this. Okay, put it this way: the guaranteed wins are Villa, West Ham. Those are guaranteed wins.
Agreed. I agree. I think Villa away because it's Villa, and West Ham. If it was West Ham away, not guaranteed. West Ham at home, the way they were playing, I think we'll win both of those games. I think if we get 9, we have to win all the games. But if we get 9 points of the next 4, I expect to go into the Leicester game in the top 4. So therefore, we only need to match or draw with Leicester, for example, to make sure we keep them behind us or whatever it is to stay in the top 4. I think Leicester will drop too many points. Sheffield, Arsenal, and Spurs, they've got to play. I think that's 3 games where they're going to drop points before the last game. So we win the next game. Who are Chelsea playing next? Palace. And Leicester are playing...
Yeah, playing Palace.
If we win...
Leicester playing Arsenal.
We win the next game, I think we could be... We might be like level on points with everyone. It might just be a freeway battle, level on points, 3rd to 5th. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. This is pressure.
No. There was a pressure. For me, I think like for United are in the strongest position because all these games they should win regardless, but especially with how they're playing, they should really win all these. The only game where it's like it could go either way is the Leicester City game. But Villa, Southampton, Palace, West Ham, those are very winnable games. Hence why I think United are in the strongest position to secure top 4. Like if Chelsea and Leicester City, where you can see those points getting dropped today.
We just have to take it one game at a time, man. Because granted, yes, we won the game 5-2 against Bournemouth. But I think we were very, very complacent in that game. Hence why Bournemouth took the lead. I was watching it and the midfield weren't getting on the ball. They weren't putting their foot on the ball, controlling it. The defense was all over the place in the first half. Even though we were 3-1 up, every time they went forward, it's like, where's Matic? Where's the fullbacks? Who is it? Solanke and Stanislas. They were just running down the channels past Maguire or past Lindelof. It wasn't good. And I think I saw passes out from the back. Like, De Gea will pass it. Bad pass to Maguire. He's trying to rush to clear it. Matic with poor back passes. It was very, very complacent. I think the winning run and how bad Bournemouth, it got to their heads. So I think maybe going behind and coming back to win is the best thing that could happen to us at this stage. Because
basically the mental strength.
Yeah, we're not going to make the same mistake against Villa. Not going to make the same mistake.
I mean, so Liverpool needs to win the next 4 matches to break the record. We're going to look at Liverpool's fixtures. We're going to look at Liverpool's fixtures because, again, I want to just find out mathematically what they can do there. So after we're done, we'll look at Liverpool's fixtures. Says Matic is criminally underrated. The dude has been key. So do you think Matic has sort of been reinvigorated by Thingy? Because this is still not the Matic of the Chelsea, the first Chelsea stint, when okay, this guy was actually a really, really good sort of DM, but he's been pretty good. But he's not really been peak Matic though.
Well, listen, put like this, up until let's say December 2019, I'll be hard pushed to find more than a handful of Man United fans who wanted to keep Matic. Most of us were saying he needs to go. The guy's slow, he's ponderous, he dwells on the ball, he ain't got the legs, blah, blah, blah. He was terrible. I'm not going to lie. I was saying Matic needs to go at the end of the season. But since January, and pretty much since January, I don't know what switch flicked. Maybe it was the Bruno coming at the end of January. I don't know. But since January, or this year anyway, he's been like reborn. Second win, new lease of life. And so much so that he was rewarded with a new contract yesterday. Now, for me, it's a year too long. He's 32 years old. You gave him a 3-year contract. That's what taking to 35. For me, that's ridiculous. For me, you give him maximum 2 years. And after 1 year, you might say, okay, he's regressed. He's actually going to be finished. So let's move him on. But I think the fact that he has been playing so well is why he got the 3-year contract. So yeah, he had been, I wouldn't even say underrated, you know. He just wasn't performing. I think he was being fairly criticized for the poor performance he was given. But right now, you know, he's not going to get the goals and the assists, but the importance to the system that Solskjaer's created at Man United is undenied, because Fred and McTominay can't do the same thing that he does.
So let's look at Wolves. So Wolves,
tough, man.
So Sheffield United away,
tough.
Everton,
tough.
Burnley away,
should win that.
Should win. Palace at home,
should win that.
Then that's the tough game here.
3 tough games. I think it's done for them. The Arsenal game killed it. I think.
You know, for me, I can see, even if it's tough, I can still see if Wolves get on their game, I can see them beating Sheffield United. I can see them beating. Basically, these are games where if Wolves do their thing, they can win these games. So for me, I think that Wolves really, which is why I just said this is such a crazy thing, because Wolves are not out of it. Because these fixtures here, for me, are all more winnable than the ones I saw from Leicester City and Chelsea.
Yes. But I would back Chelsea to win more than Wolves. It's a mentality thing as well. Chelsea have been there, they've done that. Wolves, maybe the Arsenal, they should never have lost the Arsenal game. The form that they were in and how their season have gone, that's a game they should be winning. But is there a pressure to it? Oh, you know, they haven't been in a position where now they're going to possibly get into the top 4, and they're at home and they lose to Arsenal, who, yeah, Arsenal's won their last 2 games, but Arsenal haven't played better than Wolves this year. It's a pressure thing, and I don't know if Wolves can help with that. On paper, they should be winning all those games before the Chelsea game, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah, because again, like, I thought they'd beat Arsenal. You know, I thought they'd beat Arsenal.
Ramon did a preview for the match, and he goes, "I can't see Arsenal getting anything from the game," and that's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. No. Most people thought that, which is why, like, I can't believe Arsenal. I think because I so presumed that would be a Wolves win, that I was like, look, man, Wolves, these guys are in. So the fact that Arsenal beat them was like, oh, geez. So now maybe this now gives Chelsea United, Leicester City a lot more of a breathing room. Hence why I believe that there may be a few more surprising results. So the kinds of games that we say, oh yeah, those are wins, may actually end up being draws and losses. Because I'm sure when we did the whole thing a week before, I was like, yeah, Wolves, yeah, Arsenal, they'll beat them, yeah, for sure, because of how Arsenal were playing.
Well, even Chelsea, when we did Chelsea playing Man City, they will lose that.
Yeah, for me, I said, okay, look, okay.
But they were playing West Ham. But then West Ham, they'll win. And it was the reverse. They beat Man City and lost to West Ham.
What do you mean by Chelsea? Those guys, you're so stupid. How do you, basically, it's similar to the whole Man City thing. How do you do all that work by beating Man City and you reverse everything by losing to a West Ham? It's so stupid.
I said this to Javerne, because after they beat Man City, I said, the thing is, Chelsea can do that. For me, when they beat Man City, that told me nothing. It told me nothing other than the fact they got 3 points. I said, them beating Man City, logic would say if you can beat Man City, you can win all your games other than Liverpool. But that's not how Chelsea do it. Chelsea,
no.
City, and they could easily.
No. They lost me. West Ham did the double over Chelsea this season.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So okay. So obviously, every single week we'll keep doing this. Then, as we look at the fixtures, how do you see this finishing? Third and fourth, and maybe fifth.
Man United third, Chelsea fourth, Leicester fifth. Yeah.
For me, the way I'm seeing it is Chelsea is like United third, Chelsea fourth, Wolves fifth, Leicester sixth. I think Leicester will drop further down,
Yeah.
Which is a shame because Vardy has had such a crazy season. But I see him.
You know what? I would actually like to see Wolves in the Champions League. I like the way they play.
That's it. Wolves, just because look, you have to have Chelsea. Wolves would actually be amazing in the Champions League. They'd be amazing in the Champions League.
Manager, the players, and the link that they have with Jorge Mendes, the players that they could sign being the Champions League. I'd be more like unlucky Leicester if you don't get it, you've had a good season, blah blah blah. But Wolves have been, since they come into the Premier League, they have not put a foot wrong. They've been steady progression. So
I said no. Nuno Santo has to be one of the best managers out there.
Yeah,
like his management of Wolves has been stellar, absolutely stellar. So Nick, I'm going to need your mathematical skills now. So Liverpool, So 100 points is the record.
Yes.
So 5 games to go.
Yes.
If so, they can can they afford a loss?
Yeah.
4.
Yes. So 5 wins is 15 points. That's 104. So if they lose 1, they can end up on 101. So 4 wins from their last 5, and they'll break the record.
Okay, let's take a look. So Brighton
win,
Burnley
win,
Arsenal. You got the first. Chelsea, Newcastle
win.
Not necessarily. Not see for me, 100% win.
Yeah.
See, Arsenal. I want Liverpool could either just totally total them, or Arsenal could just do something just to sort of mess them up.
It's not going to be a total because there's no reason. There's no they have nothing to fight for. There's no fans. It's not at Anfield.
Yeah.
There's no fans. There's no. So if they win it, which I guess they'll be favourites for, but if they win it, it's going to be a close game. I think 2-0 max. 2-0 max. But that's not a given. Now Arsenal's got 2 games before that, which I believe is Leicester and then Spurs. So it'll be interesting to see their form going into that Liverpool game. If they get something out of both Leicester and Spurs, I wouldn't count out them getting something against Liverpool. Arteta's building something. Momentum. You said momentum's key. I think a lot of players there who, in reality, are fighting for their place at Arsenal because this is going to be Arteta's first summer. They know if they perform, they can be there next year. If they don't, Arteta will ship them out. Like Ozil's gone already. Well, let's get it right. Arteta wants Ozil gone. Who's going to pick up his 350k wages is another question. Yeah. But there's a lot of players there who are fighting for position. And we're seeing the youngsters like Saka. Big up Splash
1991.
Players like Saka who are performing. Saka's a baller.
And also, bro, pledge allegiance to Nigeria. Pledge your allegiance.
Shout out Kelechi and Ty. They're both campaigning for Saka for Nigeria.
You see, for me, so do you think Liverpool do it then? Do you think they break the record or they fall short?
You know what? I'm gonna be sour, bitter, and whatever you want to call me, and I'm gonna say no. They ain't gonna break it, and we're not gonna talk about them as one of the greatest Premier League sides of all time.
Okay. Tell me the results then. Tell me the results.
Win against Brighton, win against Burnley, draw with Arsenal and Chelsea.
So draw against Arsenal,
draw against Chelsea, beating Newcastle. So they will have
3, 6, 9, so 11 points.
So that's going to be 100 points. So they're going to match Man City. They're going to match Man City's record of 100 points, and you can just sit. Yeah, you're not going to sit on that record. It's been there, done that. Got the T-shirt, whatever. Blah blah blah.
That would suck. Because see, because I think the thing is like, this is why I say like, if like I was a Liverpool player, I would 1,000% want to get the record.
100%.
1,000%. So it's easier. We've won it, but because I remember because I always look at body language because when Mane was brought off in the Man City game, he was pissed off.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't happy. He was like, "No, I wanted to win this game."
Yeah.
You know,
But
I think that would be such a strong statement to send. Was it?
I think he was also pissed off with his own performance because he missed at least two built edge chances. But yeah, for me, look at this. Liverpool, okay, you win the title. You can't take that away. Great achievement. To win the league season, great achievement. So you have to give them a mark for that. But they ain't conceded the least goals. That's Chelsea in 2015. They ain't scored the most goals. That might be Chelsea or City. Sorry, City in the Centurion season. They ain't got the best goal difference. That's City, and you're not going to get the highest points. Now, what they could get, which they're depending on what Man City do, they could get the biggest points difference between first and second. But for me, if you ain't got the most goals, the most.
Wait. Okay, so the biggest points difference was 21, 2022?
19.
Was that?
19.
19.
It's 19.
Okay, yeah.
So, but if you ain't got the most goals, you didn't concede the least, you ain't got the best goal difference, you may or may not win the most. I think that's another record. You didn't go unbeaten. You didn't win domestic double. You didn't win a European trophy in the same season. In the end, come the end of the season, if you don't break the points record, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, remember in 2020 when Liverpool won the COVID league?
Yeah.
That's your claim to fame. So I think they need this points record to really crown off the season. A win is always good, important. But if you really want to crown it off, you need to have something that no team has done.
Yeah, man. No. For me, I don't think they'll do it. And as you said, they'll either match it or they just fall short. I just think that they'll probably take a few draws in the end of the game. But I just think that if you're Liverpool, you have a real chance to really completely just put Man City's performances completely to bed. Because again, if they don't get it, City can say, well, we still have that record, so that's still something historic that we still have. So to really completely exalt Pep from whatever he's done is if they go for the whole thing. But I just think that every week, man, we're going to be reviewing this whole top four Javama because it's going to get. And it's still the exciting thing left in the Premier League. Because look, who cares about Liverpool's? Only you Liverpool fans care about that stuff. Like, who cares? Footballing wise, it's like, wow, you have 3-4 teams trying to get in for this thing. And you see, that's the thing. It's like a blessing in disguise. Wow, it's so bad that fans are not around and we don't have no money. But the good thing is there's football every single day.
Yeah. There's no rest.
And also shout out to my Now TV subscription and Premium Play and everything. I can actually watch it without some dodgy stream going off and everything. So it's actually good.
I got a question for you because someone brought it up earlier in terms of I think Bruno Fernandes. But my question is, who has the best midfield in the Premier League?
The best midfield.
Best midfield.
So in terms of individual personnel or in terms of a unit?
As a unit.
As a unit.
So if you think are
you saying in the season as a whole?
Right now, as we speak.
Or right now as we speak. So the key thing is as a unit, as a functioning unit.
As a unit. So right now as we speak, as a unit.
It's probably between United and Liverpool, because things that Liverpool, the midfield isn't very extravagant and everything, but it works really well. And Klopp makes them work really, really well. For United, again, it's like Liverpool don't have the flair that Bruno Fernandes brings. They don't have the quality that Pogba brings. But even within that is that, because for me, I always say the perfect midfield is your DM stopper, your CM, and then that's your attacking midfielder. So again, United have the attacking midfield, the guy who breaks from midfield, the guy in the center who sort of holds things off and pass the ball through, and the guy who sort of is a stopper. So, and they have that. See, Liverpool don't have that number 10, and they don't even really have a central midfield because Liverpool's midfield is weird. They don't have a controller. They don't have a number 10, but it somehow still works strangely.
Well, their midfield is what they call. It's like,
but see, Chelsea. Thing with Chelsea that Chelsea is weird is that all Chelsea have is really Kovacic and Kante, and that's it.
They have Mount. He's the number 10. He is the attacking midfielder. Respect your boy Mount, please. Can you respect your boy Mount, please? Listen, Chelsea's been, well, put it like this. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up. I did a poll. Let me find it. I did a poll on Twitter.
Whoa. What's this? Because when I watched the again, Son and Loris fighting. Wait, why? Could anybody elaborate? Basically, it'll be on Twitter.
Oh God, I need to see that in a second. But
it'll be on Twitter. Wow.
I'm gonna quickly. I'm gonna share my screen because this is I put a poll up. This is a few days ago, actually. First of July. Give me a second. And it was slightly. I wasn't too surprised, but I was slightly surprised. I'm not gonna lie because maybe I had my Man United hat on with the bias. Which doesn't exist, of course.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a midfielder; he's a right back, so it doesn't count. Okay, we're talking about midfielders, bro.
Let me share my screen. So I said, who's the best midfielder in the Premier League? So Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Rodri, De Bruyne, David Silva, Fabinho, Henderson, and Wijnaldum. Well, that is Lampard's midfield. Kovacic, Jorginho don't play. Jorginho, when's the last time Jorginho even touched the pitch?
Wait, see, that's why I asked you. See, there are two ways to answer this. As a unit and for individuals. In terms of individuals, it's Man City. Rodri, De Bruyne, David Silva, individually, they are the best in terms of individual quality. But as a functioning unit for chemistry and sort of, because see, City's midfield is weird because City really don't for City, I wouldn't call them as a unit. I would just say that City, they just really expand that pass into the wingers and everything. But I think for United rely much more on their midfield in the middle rather than, let's say, a City do. City get those balls up to Sterling, Mahrez, for them to do their work. And really, David Silva is always far up.
Because you even get the fullbacks who come into the midfield, like inverted fullbacks, the likes of Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, etc. But obviously, this is how they line up. They line up as a midfield three, so that's what I kind of did it with. Now, the thing with Liverpool, Fabinho, quality player in his own right. Outside of this Klopp system, that midfield ain't working nowhere else. So when I'm judging like who's the best midfield three, of course, Liverpool are the best team. So you can say, well, they've got the best attacking three because, Firmino, Salah. But Firmino, Salah, Mane ain't working under most managers because most managers want a striker and not a false nine.
Yeah.
Gini, Henderson, and Fabinho ain't working on the most managers because they want a playmaker within that midfield. So I would say, for me, I understand why De Bruyne and David Silva and Rodri won because I think De Bruyne, for me, best midfielder in the league based on consistency. Pogba, most talented, but De Bruyne's been doing it for year in, year out. I have to give him respect. David Silva is one of the greatest Premier League players we've ever seen. And that midfield, minus Rodri, obviously Fernandinho was there before, they've won back-to-back titles. So they've done it. They've shown that this midfield is a winning midfield. Man United right now, we're on form. We're on great form. And then as an individual, yeah, maybe we have the best midfield in individual players, but that's for 4 games. How can we do it over 38 games? That's a big question. The Kante, Kovacic, Mount one, it's a weird one because, and I put those 3 there, but I know that Lampard changes a lot. So you don't actually always see these 3 midfield together, but I would say those 3 players have played more under under Lampard than anyone else. So he might do Kante, Mount, Barkley. He might do Kovacic, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, but those 3 players.
Okay, so for you, objectively speaking, which midfield is the best for you if you're being objective?
Objectively speaking, I would say Rodri, De Bruyne, David Silva. I think I have to. They've proved it. They've proved it. Especially De Bruyne and Silva, they've proved it. Going into next season, Man United because David Silva's leaving. And he's also older, but he's leaving. So I'm not putting Foden over Bruno Fernandes. Not yet.
Nah, I mean, I don't say that. I mean, some English commentators may, but I won't, man. I ain't doing that. All right, guys. So look, man. So before we roll out of here, man. Remember, guys. Remember to become a Patreon member, and just to give you guys a little bit of a taster of the whole Patreon thing, man. So, Nix, why have you taken over this whole thingy, man?
I'm just doing. Oh, I got another video to do. Whew, I haven't done that one yet.
So yeah, so basically, so Nix, explain what this Brickley Golem watch is about, bro.
Obviously, Solskjaer's been. Sorry, before I go in, I've just seen Jesse Lingard has Mark Goldbridge on his Instagram story. Let me go check. I'll check that out in a second.
The heck?
United stands moving big still. If Lingard, how much millions of followers has Lingard's got? Someone let me know in the comments below. But yeah, listen, obviously Solskjaer's got a lot of stick, rightly and wrongly, but a lot of stick. So I got to assess objectively, because that's all I do, objectively, how good Solskjaer really, how is he really performing game by game? And of course, so far, so good. And we're rating him on his tactics and starting lineup. We're rating him on the performance of the team, substitutions, in-game management, and of course the result, which is the most important thing. So rate him out of 5. Maybe I might change it out of 10, but at the moment this is out of 5. And he's doing well. He's probably hovering around a 4 out of 5, because the reality is the results that we've had are results that we're supposed to have. Now, if we go beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, then you might see a 5 out of 5. You might. At the moment, he's hovering around a 4 out of 5.
Well, so if you're a United fan merchant, you can definitely get all of these Ollie watches from your boy Nick's Devil's Donuts, where he pretty much tells you all of the trash guys that have been in there. And also, what we also do as well, you can also download all the episodes of the show to a podcast form. So like an episode like this and all previous episodes, they can all be downloaded for you to listen to on your phone and so forth. And I think, yeah, we did an all-time Barcelona 11 and also did a combined Ultimate 11 of Arsenal, Chelsea, and United. I can't remember what that team was. And also did I think this was an all-time Premier League combined 11 as well. So all this beautiful stuff you can gain access to by becoming a patron of the Football Dugouts, man. So any final words, Mr. Nix, before we...
Quickly, Martin Rosario said, "Hey, Chase, talk about the screenshot I sent you through DM on Instagram."
Oh, God.
Wait.
You see, the thing with Matt is I hope this isn't like some kind of pornographic thing, man. Because I know that you can be a bit tricky. So let me see what you can get here.
While you do that, I'm just going to look at...
Oh.
I don't know what's happening with Son and... What's Son and...
let's see.
Son. So it's almost like Hugo Lloris ran a good 40 yards over to have a go at Son as he left the field. Oh, I need to...
So, because this is what your boy Rosario sends me, man. It says, and you see, this is just stupid. It says, VR always favors Madrid, Barca president.
You can't...
Do you know how disgraceful that is to say that?
You leave that to the fans. You leave it to the fans to argue about VAR. This is so bitter.
That's just sad, bro. That's just sad.
I'll tell you what he needs to focus on is the bloody recruitment of Barcelona. That's what he needs to focus on, and not VAR. The reason why you lost the league this year is because you're buying dud players to try and fill a role that can't be filled. Neymar cannot be replaced. Get over it. Find a recruitment system that works. Get a manager and get the players that a manager wants, and let the team play. Forget all this. I don't know what they're trying to turn into. Galacticos, 150 million here, 100 million here, 100. Come on, man. VAR. You got bigger issues than VAR. I'll tell you that for a fact. And Barca are rich to be talking about decisions, because we know when it comes to Champions League, they have
2009. 2009.
Listen,
disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Disgrace. UEFA Lona.
Okay. So before we wrap that sphere, who wins the Champions League? Give me one team. Don't say Neymar and PSG, bro.
See, I can't back sorry. Bayern Munich.
Oh, jeez. I thought you were about to say Juventus, man.
My head says Bayern Munich. My heart says Cristiano Ronaldo. But I'll trust my head on this one.
All right, guys. We'll be back here on Thursday. Remember to follow your boy Nix on Twitter. Remember to match us here on Thursday. Actually, wait. What games are on Thursday? Thursday might be 7 p.m.
Yeah, it might be. Because
so depending on what matches are happening on Thursday, because look, the matches every day, we'll probably see you guys Thursday 7 p.m. So guys, peace out, stay true. All right, man. Peace out. Peace.